Good morning. I'm Marianna Tutwiler. I'm the program director with the Florida Institute for Child Welfare, and I'm here with Lisa Jackson, who's the director of the Unconquered Scholars Program here at Florida State University, along with two students who we'll introduce in a little bit. But I thought I came here to learn more about the program that's right around the corner from our office, and this is Foster Care Month. And so Unconquered Scholars, it works with our foster care youth, or former foster youth, and does amazing things with them. So I thought I would just ask some questions of Lisa to find out a little bit more about the program and share it with our viewers. So could you just kind of tell us what the mission of Unconquered Scholars is?
Sure. Yeah, I'll be happy to. The program started in 2012, and actually students were involved in the construction of the program, including the mission, which is to provide qualified students at the university continual guidance, mentorship, security, and a voice to promote not only their overall well-being and ultimate graduation from FSU, but to really try and prepare them for independent life after graduation.
Super. So what would you say are the core components of the program that make it so successful?
Well, I think that one of the primary features of this program that makes it successful and unique is the active student voice. From the outset, like I mentioned, when the program was first proposed on campus, and there was a lot of support institutionally to do this, we didn't take a top-down approach as an administration. We know how to build this. We went to the students who have expertise, and in order to qualify to be an Unconquered Scholar, you have to have experienced foster care, homelessness, be a ward of the state, or was in relative care, either formally or informally. Okay. So we went to those students and we said, you know, if this program existed, what would make it meaningful to you? How should it operate? What does it need to look like? And they really helped design it and continue to help inform its practice. So we have a student advisory board that works closely with me, and they are representing the entire student voice for the program. They let us know what kinds of unique challenges these students are experiencing during their time here. And they let us know how we can hopefully best accommodate those unique needs and support those students. So that's an ongoing and continual process that I think makes this program very successful and unique in its design.
Very interesting. I didn't realize that it was still a young,
relatively
relatively young project.
Yeah.
So where do you get the funding to operate the program?
So the university funds my position as well as a graduate assistant, and a lot of the funding we have for other sort of programmatic activities comes from donations, private donors.
Okay.
So we really try and access as many of those resources as possible, but we're very fortunate that we have institutional support to fund an entire program dedicated to these students, which is pretty unusual. Legislatively, each campus in the state of Florida is required to have a contact person for former foster youth on their campus.
But just a contact person, not a person that's dedicated.
Right. Yeah. Who has experience in the field with students coming out of foster care. That is a student-informed program for their development and support and ultimate growth. So it's really, really unique as institutions go in the state and really broadly across the country.
Do you know if there are any other universities that have such a program?
Yeah, well, I mean, initially when the students were researching how to build Unconquered Scholars, they researched some of the oldest programs in the country, which are out in California. Okay. The Guardian Scholars programs, there's some out in Michigan, and they kind of looked at what they were doing and they really thought, well, those are interesting elements and here's how we would like to do it. And so Unconquered was placed in the Center for Academic Retention and Enhancement, our department here on campus that is overseen by two different divisions, Student Affairs and Undergraduate Studies, which I think really is beautifully enmeshed because it represents the entire student experience, right? You have student affairs life and you have the academic side of the house. And so we're kind of have all that built in here.
And you I think you collaborate with the College of Social Work to do some research or
We do.
data collection.
Yeah.
Lisa Shelby.
Yeah, Dr. Shelby,
Yeah,
yes.
she's one of our affiliates. Yeah.
She's an amazing advocate for the program. And when she and I sat down and we thought about learning from Unconquered, it was to inform practice. So in my role here, what I want to understand is how we can improve what we're doing while the students are here so that they're better prepared for independent life after they leave. That's our primary goal, right? It's great to have the degree and we want that, but we also want to know that they're prepared for life after graduation. And so the data collection that we're doing with Dr. Shelby is all post-grad, and it's all designed to let us know where we need to improve based on graduate student voice, which I honestly don't think anyone is
Looking
doing.
at.
Yeah.
Well, and I have a 22-year-old and a 23-year-old, one still in college and one just got out. And independent living for anybody is tough these days. It's hard to get a job that supports you. So, let's see if I have any questions. About how many students have you had enrolled?
Officially, we track our undergrads, though. We work with graduate students as well, unofficially, not in the numbers, so to speak. So we've had right around 134 students in the program since its inception.
Okay.
And we've had, I think, 38 graduate so far. We're actually about to get our next cohort of students in about 5 weeks. Okay. And the cohorts now are about 34, 35 students each year is about what we're averaging. So.
And how about your retention rate?
The retention rate right now is 95%,
What?
90%. I think it's right around 90%. We just had a
That is
group
awesome.
graduate, so I'm trying to recall the exact numbers. The graduation rate, I think, is at 85%. Slight decline, but when you're working with such small numbers.
Right.
Yeah, it was 90% before that. So
Right.
Yeah.
You lose one and
Yeah, we'll lose one,
yeah.
exactly. But yeah, compared to the national averages, which kind of vary, right? It's somewhere between 2 and I think 7% of youth who age out of the foster care system get a bachelor's degree.
Right.
About 85% of the students coming out of the program are graduating with a bachelor's degree, and we have several who are in grad school. We have one that just got accepted to law school, one that's starting pharmacy school. So there's, many of them are going on to graduate programs.
That is awesome. Well, I think that's all of the questions I have. Is there anything else you want to share before we talk with the students?
If other questions come up, just let me know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you turn it over to these awesome students.
Well, I have a couple of students here with me here today. One that will be off camera and one that will be on. And I'll let them introduce themselves. Margaret could tell you about herself, but she just graduated and is also going into a graduate program.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. So hi, my name is Margaret Swift. I just graduated, like she said. I majored in social work with a minor in communication, and I'm going to grad school to continue in social work as well.
Where are you going?
Here, actually.
Oh, here.
Yes, the social work program
well,
here.
We'll see you in the halls then.
Yeah. Yep. I'll still be here one more year.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm from Orlando, Florida. What else?
So, what did Lisa and her team, how did they help you stay focused? And
Where do I start? I never know where to start anymore. So when I first came into Unconquered Scholars, and the way I heard about Unconquered Scholars was I became part of the CARE program, which is here on campus. And I was sitting at a general body meeting, and the executive board of Unconquered Scholars, which were the students that were here as well, they came and they told us about the program, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get into it. And so you apply, and then you do the interview process, and the Unconquered Scholars Program to me feels more intimate, more one-on-one, more hands-on, more like a family, a tight-knit family, nothing too far away, because you have the CARE program, but the CARE program is so much of us that you don't really get to have that one-on-one like you would like to. I mean, you can, but Unconquered Scholars is more of an advantage of just being
a smaller
number
yeah,
of course,
of
right.
students. Makes that easier.
They've helped me physically, mentally, emotionally. I have my times where I know our sophomore year we're supposed to have like an advisor to just communicate with from time to time. And I came in here crying like every day of the week speaking to Lisa. So she has helped me so much, even financially. If I need anything, I know that I can, count on them. Of course, emergencies. They've helped me with tutor, like if I need a tutor. It's so much more hands-on. They definitely made the experience of college much more easier. It didn't make me feel like I was any less different from anybody else on campus.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, and the feedback we get from students year after year is that being able to connect with other students who've had similar experiences, it makes the difference. That someone else gets it, and that they empower and push each other and celebrate each other's strengths, versus expressing some of their past and feeling like they're being pitied.
Right.
They're really uniquely qualified to be here because of how strong they are and how much they can
Resilient.
manage. Yeah. So.
Okay, so thank you, Margaret. So we have another student.
Yes, Shadi.
My name is Shadi Olsommer. I'm a computer programming and applications major with a minor in physics, math, and military science.
Wow.
Currently enrolled in ROTC, hoping to go Army career for my potential future. I'm actually originally from Tallahassee, so I've been stuck in this town 20-some odd years. Kind of looking forward to graduating and getting out.
Moving on.
Yeah, I'm an upcoming senior as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, Unconquered's really helped out. Like, I had to actually sit down and think about it to get ready for this interview, but it's like, as I started writing it down and thinking about it, I was like, it's actually been a lot here. Like, my favorite thing, freshman and sophomore year, bi-weekly, we meet and have what we call group. So, it's kind of just talk with Miss Lisa and other people that are in our class, and it's like, just talk about what we're going through, how we're feeling, what it's like. And it didn't really hit me as much, but a lot of people talking about having been away from their families, like how they can't just go, they go home and, it's not like they're going home to their family, they're going home to their roommates that they may not like, they're going home to stress, frustration, all that, I feel like just having group and like, that feeling that someone gets you, that someone cares, helps out a lot. Because you can talk, we are on a campus with 40,000 people. You can walk around, you can be around these people, but the moment you start talking to them about the times where you were homeless, you slept in your vehicle, like, they can empathize with you, but they're never actually gonna like, get it.
Know where you've been.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, you start talking about stuff like that, and people, like, you sometimes feel like people might be judging you. They'll be like, oh, you're just trying to get attention, when really it's like, no, I just need someone to talk to this about, like, I just gotta get it out a bit. And as Margaret was saying, your sophomore year in the care program, you have an advisor, and it being Miss Lisa, just, it kind of helps cement that relationship, because it still gets that feeling that, she's not just doing it because she's a care staff and, they're told, oh, we're going to give you like 80 sophomores, counsel, and it's like, she actually does care about it. I mean, it helped me out a lot too, like, my parents, they left me when I was senior in high school, so, I was homeless for a little bit before my bosses were nice enough to take me in. And then my parents came back, around that sophomore year in college, and it's like, didn't really know how to deal with it all that well. I mean, it's a tough situation. These people who I at one point absolutely hated because they left me, and it's like they're coming back in my life, like, I didn't really know how to deal with those conflicting emotions, but, being able to come talk with Miss Lisa, sometimes more than just every 2 weeks, I'd sometimes text or email and be like, hey, can I come in and talk?
Right.
It really helped out a lot.
That's great. Wow.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Well, and it sounds like you are as well. So, but a lot of good energy, it sounds like here, and a lot of support. And, every student needs that, I think. But like you're saying, that these students may not have the support back home that other students do,
Yeah.
emotionally, financially, physically, anything like that. So they do need that extra hand-holding and support here. So it's wonderful.
I think they really build this campus family. You know, as much as they're willing to open themselves up for that and engage, they build a family amongst themselves, and they have the support of obviously my office and this department and the institution. So we're always going to try and find ways to fill in the gaps that come up in ways that maybe students who have a forever family don't experience. Right.
So you may have some lifelong friends coming out of this program as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. So.
People I didn't think I would, communicate with. But yeah, most definitely. Especially, I think, I know for me, growing up, I lost my mom at the age of 8, 13, staying with relative care, and it wasn't until my 8th grade year I ended up getting adopted. And my 8th grade year, having the mentality of being the woman that I am today was not me back then.
Nope.
And so getting out of high school and then coming into college was definitely something new to me, especially because I'm more like laid back. I don't really talk much to anyone. Now I'm like all over the place. But Unconquered made me feel like it made me feel comfortable. Made me feel like it was okay to talk about what I've gone through. It was okay to share with anyone because they've also experienced it. We also do trips like Parents Weekend. Sometimes like my adopted mom or sisters can't come up, and so like what we'll do is take a trip with the Unconquered board or just Unconquered Scholars period, and we will, like, for example, we went to Disney this past semester, and we were able to connect with new people who were part of the program who I didn't know as well, and we were able to share stories and see that we all had similar situations, and we talked about how we dealt with those situations, and you would never know someone was going through something like that. Right. It's so easy to judge a book by a cover, but when you actually sit to speak to someone and get to know who they really are, it's like wow. So it's been a journey.
Well, in that trip that Margaret brought up, Parents Weekend here on campus, right? The students in Unconquered were reporting academic, social, general functional decline after that weekend. Yeah, the campus is flooded with parents, right? And so we listened to their voice, and we're like, how do we address this going forward? And we're very, very fortunate. The institution one year funded that trip, and then Guy and Dolores Spearman, along with folks at Disney Corporate, we're like, listen, this is something we want to help with. And so now we take a campus family trip away from campus during Parents Weekend. And so, like Margaret said, the students get to bond with each other even more closely. They get to share their experiences. They get to have fun. And we don't hear the same reports of the challenges post Parents Weekend that we heard for years before that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So. Well, I think we might be wrapping up and don't want to take any more of your time. So if you have any questions about Unconquered the program, Unconquered Scholars, you can give Lisa Jackson a shout or myself. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Shadi. Thanks, Margaret.